Well, good morning. We're glad everyone is here for this exciting announcement we have today, another exciting announcement for the Kentucky Theater. My name is Steve Grossman. I'm the co-chair of the Kentucky Theater campaign, and I'm here representing Isabel Yates, who is our real cheerleader, but she is a little under the weather today, so she couldn't be here. We are very, very excited to be able to announce a wonderful contribution of $15,000 by Columbia Gas of Kentucky. Columbia Gas has been a wonderful partner and contributor to many of the many wonderful things we have in the cities over the years, and this just reflects on their philosophy about giving back to the community and the philanthropy that they have shown to this area for many, many years. And we are really privileged to have Herb Miller, the president of Columbia Gas, here at this time to make the presentation. Herb, would you like to say a few words, please?
Thank you, Steve. Before I begin, I'd like to take a moment of personal privilege, if I may, Mayor. It was 39 years ago in this theater that I came and attended a showing, and later that evening met my wife, Cindy, that you know well. So it was a great day for me, and I'm proud to be part of this, the history of this grand old theater. Thank you all for the Friends of the Kentucky Theater for helping to upgrade. It's going to be a wonderful, wonderful place to come for families and for other events. Since I've been at Columbia Gas of Kentucky, 2006, our shareholders have contributed more than $1 million to the communities which we serve. This is part of that philosophy. Normally we're associated with contributing to causes of basic human needs, education, environmental causes, but historical preservation and cultural preservation is another way of sustaining our community. So on behalf of the shareholders of Columbia Gas of Kentucky and the NiSource Charitable Foundation, I'm pleased to present this $15,000 check to the efforts to restore this grand old theater. So thank you, Steve. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. And my goodness, that story of the inspiration that Cindy provided, we know that had to do with at least a couple of zeros on that. You know, there's a old saw, an old aphorism that goes something like this, that there's nothing more powerful than an idea whose time has come. And the renovation, the restoration, the movement really forward into our future that this renovation represents is just a big deal for Lexington. When we think of all that Columbia Gas has done, and for all the years, and Herb just mentioned that, we genuinely appreciate that. And Herb, you know, thanks for stretching, for going beyond the boundaries of your traditional programming. You said it really so well. This theater has in many respects anchored and graced our downtown, our Main Street for 91 years. And Fred, listen, thank you for being here for at least 10% of that. I wasn't going to say 90%, buddy. Now that'd be me. But you know, so much of this is really about valuing, recognizing, and preserving what is unique and special and authentic about our city, what makes us special. And so much of that is our history. Those who really recognize it, Dr. Tom Clark, who was the Kentuckian's historian laureate for a long time until he passed away at 102 years old. Tom would say that history is, if you really work history like he did, he said, it's all about how it informs our present and our future. And that's what we're really here about. What we're seeing today with Lexington's urban space, our downtown, our city center, is a vitality that translates into placemaking. It translates into a social, a cultural, and an economic vitality. I really love telling the story, and y'all forgive me, I'm going to have to do it real quick. I ran into this guy one day with his wife. It was at farmer's market, right after farmer's market on a Saturday morning. I thought I was traveling anonymously. I had my ball cap on. And Jason stopped me and he said, you're the mayor, aren't you? And I said, I confess, yes, guilty. And he said, well, listen, I just want to tell you. And he introduced me to his wife, and he introduced me to his 2 little girls. And he said, we just love Lexington. We're on the way to the farmer's market. And I said, well, where do you live? He said, well, we live on the south side of town. And he named the neighborhood. Can't even remember it right now. But I said, so where do you work? He said, well, I work in Winchester. He's the human resources manager of a company in Winchester. And he said, my job, of course, in human resources is to recruit people. And he said, let me tell you, Mayor, when I get them to come to Kentucky, when I get to somebody to consider coming to Kentucky, he said, I bring them into Lexington, into your downtown, across the countryside, your beautiful landscape in the countryside, and he said, I sell them every time. So at the end of the day, as much as rewarding as the experience of this remarkable institution, the Kentucky is for so many people, there's a larger vision and there's a larger purpose. And that larger purpose is preserving what is authentic and special and unique about our city, and then growing that. So Herb, been a big part of this movement forward. It always, the private sector stepping up, always encourages the public sector. And nobody knows that better than Isabel Yates, who I love telling the story about because it's really so much of Isabel's vision represented here. And I love telling the story of Disney World in about 1971, the opening of Disney World. And Walt Disney had just passed away. And of course, it was his imagination that had created it. And his widow, his wife, Lillian, was standing just after the ribbon cutting, this enormous, these facilities, the park. And his brother, Roy, was there. And Roy said to Lillian, Lillian, honey, it's too bad Walt wasn't here to see this. Well, she didn't miss a beat, sort of just like Isabel Yates wouldn't. And she said, oh, he did see it, and that's why we're here. And that's a tribute to Isabel Yates and all the work that you all are doing to just motivate us forward and get us there. So thank you all so much, and Herb, thank you so much. Steve?